So that's one good way into being distinctive. Here's another one, a much more general one, genre. Genre is a tool for communication and a tool for marketing. If I say that I'm making a side-scrolling 2D RPG, you immediately know a lot of what I'm trying to do. And you immediately have some idea if you're likely to like it or not. So people will tell you that you should find a genre, that you should fit your game into the places where other people like those genres, that you should try to establish commonalities based on that. And that all can be good advice. But there is another route, and the other route is explicitly to eschew genre. And even if you explicitly eschew genre, we'll still talk about Cultist Simulator being sort of a simulation, or sort of a card game, or sort of a roguelike, or sort of a horror game. We'll try to get to those audiences. But if you identify yourself firmly with a genre, it's very hard to stand out from all the other things that are in that genre. So eschewing genre is one way to be distinctive. I said at the beginning that it can be an advantage not to have a genre. Now that was true, but like many true things, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Cultist Simulator, for example, was kind of an RPG and kind of a roguelike, and kind of like Sid Meier's Pirates and kind of a bunch of other stuff. But it had a lot of RPG elements and a lot of roguelike elements. And that was intentional, and to a large extent that was good, because it meant that you had the story part of an RPG with the peril part of a roguelike. So you really, every time you venture out on the black ocean in Summer Sea, you feel the fear to begin with. But the problem with that, of course, as all the reviews very reasonably said, is that that's great the first 3 times. And then after that, because it's not really a roguelike, it doesn't have enough variation in the beginning. That was my big design mistake. You repeat the same story, and however beautifully written the story, it's not interesting the 5th time you read it. It starts to feel like homework. So if I had identified earlier where that fault line ran, and the problems of having something that was both kind of an RPG and kind of a roguelike, I could have started building in mitigating factors earlier. This is something I said in my Kama Sutra retrospective, in fact. So if you're doing something that draws from different genres, there will be a fault line because some of the assumptions and expectations won't mesh. Find that fault line early, find it earlier than I did, and you'll do better.